This might come to a shock to a lot of people watching this video, and what I have to confess is after Terminator 1, I did not watch Terminator 2 or any of the sequels that the franchise had to offer. Now, Terminator 1 was peak, man. It was peak cinema at its finest. And I've heard that Terminator 2 really lived up to the prequel, and Terminator 2 was a very, very great addition into the franchise. Now, the other sequels and the other movies and spin-offs that the franchise had to offer weren't really that good. That's what I was getting from the general consensus when I was, looking up all of, the reviews and all that stuff, because like I said, just literally now, the only Terminator movie I watched was the first one, the classic one that in my opinion is so great. But I'll be very honest with you, there is a new Terminator project in town, and that is Terminator Zero. I'm seeing a lot of people say that it is the best Terminator project since Terminator 2. And are they right? In my opinion, I think they're right, because this anime, first and foremost, is very well drawn in my opinion. Like, the art this anime has to offer, I like how dark it looks, I like how intense the art is, and when it's action, you can tell it's very action in my opinion. So I watched the first episode of this season, and I'm pretty sure most of the season's already out on Netflix, but the first episode is dark and it's gory. It starts off in 2022. This woman named Aiko, she is running from this robot that his face is all ripped off. He's chasing after Aiko and her friends, and Aiko and her friends are getting murked. They're getting killed, they're getting slaughtered. The robot is killing a lot of Aiko's people, and Aiko, she's fighting her hardest to stay alive from this robot. And eventually, before we get to the climax of what happens, Aiko manages to escape. But then we now jump back in time to 1997, before shit hit the fan. 1997 was when the robots and the humans were kind of living harmoniously. Not really like that, but they were living with humans. And this show is set in Tokyo. It's mostly set in Tokyo, Japan. But we're seeing in 1997 a man named Malcolm Lee. Now, his family and everybody that were living in Japan and the world at the time were all experiencing the AI and the robot kind of revolution. They were experiencing it. Like Malcolm Lee, he'll be seeing robots helping out people. There was this scene where Misaki, Malcolm Lee's housekeeper, Lee sent Misaki to get toys for his kids, and when she was at the store, she saw this robot. At first she thought it was like a human worker, but the robot, when he was working, Misaki asked the robot a question, and the robot turned around, and she was shocked. But this was how the norm was, the status quo was, and Malcolm was not happy about that. So when Misaki came home with presents for Malcolm's kids, Malcolm was not too pleased when she brought back a robotic cat. But Malcolm is a very distant father, because his job has him to go long days, many days, without playing with his kids, without seeing his kids, spending time with his kids, bonding with his kids. And we're seeing that it's taking a toll on his kids back in 1997. But as this is going on, Malcolm has to go to work. He has to be gone for a couple days. So unfortunately, his kids are mad about that. One of his sons is a very smart kid, and he knows how to basically take apart machines and rebuild them at the same time. So he's very smart in engineering. So he really liked seeing that cat. But Malcolm had to go to work. When he went to work, we see Kokoro, an advanced AI and Japan's answer to Skynet. We see Malcolm now interact with Kokoro, and Malcolm believes that Kokoro is the answer to stop what is to come, to stop the robotic invasion, to stop what is happening. But since it's 1997, that's the past, that eventually did not work. And we're seeing now in the future, back in 2022, we're seeing that Aiko and the resistance are all regrouping, are all gathering together, because Aiko, she has found the key key to what they've been looking for. She has found the thing that could help them in this time. And the episode kind of stops there because it's the first episode, but what we're basically gonna get groomed for is most likely Aiko, she will probably have to go back in time to do something about this situation, about this robotic situation that they've been going through for the last 20 to 30 years. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, the story so far, I kind of like it. I kind of like what they're going with because of how dark it is, because of how kind of hopelessness they feel, the characters feel. I like how it is, and I do believe it's an effective first episode to get people, you know, back into the Terminator franchise, because if you look through the reviews throughout the most recent Terminator franchise projects, they were not good, and the last true peak was Terminator 2, and this one so far on Rotten Tomatoes is like at 100% still right now, and it's at 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. You know, it's picking up legs, you know what I mean? It's picking up some legs, and I think it's effective. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a good start and a good return for fans to feel that, yeah, the Terminator franchise is back, man. But I'm gonna go watch episode 2 and the next episodes to really get a groove on the show, man. But I like the art. I like the action scenes. It's pretty brutal. The action scenes are intense. You know, it looks like they really put a lot of effort into the art and into the design work of the show. So yeah, I think it's a pretty effective show, man, in my opinion. But that's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.